Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am PANCZASU and welcome back to Ardent Mages tutorial slash playthrough. My humble and sincere apologies for not posting a video guys yesterday. Unfortunately, I was rather busy and my allergies also got the best of me, so I wasn't really able to record that. Unfortunately, it is summer, which means that my allergies will continue until summer ends. And there is very little I can do about it. Thankfully today I feel a bit better, so I'm hoping to record at least a few videos as a backup for the days when I feel worse. That's just what I have to do and what I did in the past few days, except I ran out of backups, so that's a problem. We are rolling with a new patch, by the way. Indeed we are. I have had some reports, unfortunately, that if you play an older save file in a new patch, then your faction, then your faction quest might be bugged and will never be achievable. However, that is not what I experienced thus far. What I have experienced, however, is that if you start a new game, then your main quest will not work. But I haven't seen that with loaded games, so I guess it is different for everybody else. But it's safe to say that in the current branch build patch, there is some kind of a problem with action quests. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I personally haven't seen a real key as to where it when it works and when it doesn't. Maybe it just never works. It's possible. I guess we'll see that after I pacify the villages, if that happens in the near future, which it might not. However, other quests should work, and at least that is my hope that they do, because I really want to have exotic armor and to show it to you, because it is a rather amazing feature and a rather amazing piece of armor. Now, as you can probably guess by now, I have indeed skipped a single turn. That's because I started recording, but because I wasn't pleased with my intro, I decided to scrap the intro. But since nothing really happened in the last turn, I decided to also not reload it either. So I hope you do not mind this. Let's put even more population influence. I really do want to declare war as soon as possible, so every population helps. Now, what do I want to do in the city after creating this one barrow street? Well, barrow streets also help me with influence. They do give me one extra influence, but how do I want to set my triangle over here? Well, if I remember correctly, I want it to be like so. So let's go ahead and grab myself a bit more coast tiles, because in the future coast tiles will indeed give me more dust, and dust is by all means fantastic. Actually, did I get dust radar? Yes, I did. It is supposed to give me more dust, so why isn't it? Yeah? Sea or lake only? Yeah, Why does it not give me more dust on this? I guess it's a display bag of sorts, because... oh, wow. Okay, it is a display bag, and that's very interesting. It is very interesting indeed. Thankfully, it doesn't really matter too much anyway, because in the end I will gain extra food and dust from those tiles. So either way, we will continue developing our city like so, and also besieging the enemy city without formally besieging it. We're just standing here and, I don't know, having a nice little picnic in the middle of the summer, probably suffering from allergies as well, but until I have to hand something influence, I am unable to do anything other than that, unfortunately. It's okay though. Last time there were some marines, lurking about, but it looks like they went off to mind their own business. Now the thing that is worrying me are those marines, because if they attack Jinsen, then I'll not actually be able to defend it. 3 militia are not quite enough, so what I will do is just move my population to production and get this extra zealot out as soon as possible, and the zealot plus 3 militia could possibly hold out against 3 marines, possibly. I mean, it is marines versus militia, optimal, and that's the optimal scenario for marines. I mean, they will just dominate my militias, and I am just hoping that my zealots will also be able to hold their ground. Although in all actuality I might not even be forced to actually defend right there. So I'll do like so. We can wait a few more turns. It's not like we are really in a hurry, because once we win the few first encounters against voters, we would be in a much better spot. And what is that? Oh! Thank you! I now don't have to waste my influence. That's so nice of them. They backstabbed me before I could backstab them. Now this is just lovely, if I may say so myself. I no longer have to deal with influence. I have a ton of it for 1080 when I want to set new empire plan. Things are just working splendidly, awesomely, which I am really happy about. Alright then, let's move a bit more population into food production, because hey, food is nice, and as long as I do not waste too much of my actual production, industry production, then that's fine. Let's move it like so. Now another thing I did off camera is had a bunch of battles against Harmonites, because they were really boring. It was just one zealot kiting endless hordes of Harmonites to the end of the world. It took ever. But I had to manual it because otherwise I'll lose those battles, and obviously I did not want to do that. So yeah, there's a story behind that. Alrighty then, let's focus on producing another bar of streets, although in all actuality I might create another zealot just and only to actually be able to defend against the enemy a little bit better. Can I move some population into food production? No, I cannot. I do want to have the zealot as soon as possible. And this city has a ton of defense, so I will be able to defend long enough for my zealots to be finished, and then I'll be able to gladly attack the enemy. Now, I'm not sure why the enemy declared war on me now, because now I can just go ahead and own them, and that's exactly what I will do. But first thing says, oh, I only have 2 cities, right. I'm playing so much Endless Legend, I do get things mixed up every now and again. My apologies for that. Alrighty then, let's go ahead and start a siege, and immediately after that let us assault the city. It probably only has militia inside of it. Hey, assault the city. There we go. No, it actually has 2 militia and a minion, by which I mean a marine. Not a really big problem, because I'm just going to absolutely own them really quickly. Anchor wings are really good at killing those kind of enemies. So let's go ahead and set up my units now. Thankfully, the bug that I was complaining about in the last video, which was causing my besieged troops not to spawn, is also being annoying for the AI, which makes me rather glad, because now they get a taste of their own medicine as it is. Now, can you guys like be on the top of the cliff? Thank you, that would be helpful. So I'll make sure that my ranged units are in set formation where they gain the biggest morale bonus, and they should hopefully still be able to attack the enemy. Whereas my Anchor Wings, well, yeah, they are going to kill everything there is to kill. So, Anchor Wings focus on Marines. They do need to kill those Marines because that's what they are designed to do. They do have Night Slayer, but this is again something that will be changed in the future. Would I get a Rage Slayer? I have no idea. That's all entirely up to developers, but they will have some other options other than Night Slayer. Either them or the Warlocks. It is possible that Anchor Wings will forever only be Night Slayers, actually. Hopefully not, though. Alright then, you know what, I'll just tell all my units to go ahead and focus on killing Marines, purely because Marines, you never know, they might do something, whereas Militia, who cares about Militia? Now, who's still, alright. And if my units cannot reach Militia in one turn, then they will kill the, cannot kill the Marines in one turn, then they reach Marines in one turn, then they will target the militia, so it's all fine. Now you may be noticing that the enemy has this kind of shield icon. This means that the enemy is protected. That's because I assaulted a city that is under siege, that only started a siege. So the enemy is quote-unquote protected by walls, which gives it immunity to damage to a certain degree. So the way you can think about it is that those walls, I'm right now attacking the walls instead of actual unit, and I have to break down the walls before I actually do damage to your unit. You'll see this in action as soon as I actually attack somebody. You'll see that the enemy life doesn't go down, but the enemy shield icon does go down. The enemy life might also go down if I do enough damage, but that's debatable if I will. Now I do want to absolutely wreck the enemy, so I'm really tempted to actually spend my dust on a spell. Or actually, you know what? We haven't seen the stunning spell in action yet, so let's just stun the enemy and wreck them completely worthless for 110. And yeah, let's do just that. Hi there! Unfortunately, that's all the animation we're gonna get. It's not gonna get any faster than that, but what it did allow us is it gave us 110 of peace, and it also does allow the Marines to counter-attack, which is really nice. It means that our Anchor Wing are going to take no damage, but as you can see, the enemy also took no damage, simply because of the fact that he was protected by those walls. But now, the shield icons are gone, and all the damage I deal from this point forward are actually going to go through. So as soon as I get in range, and indeed I just did, you're going to see that I am indeed going to be able to deal some damage. Thankfully, the fire rate has also been nerfed. As you can see, it deals less damage. This patch has actually fixed up a lot of stuff. It was essentially one ginormous bug fix, with a bunch of bug fixes also added in for the good measure. So in all actuality, it was a really good patch, and while it possibly broke a few things, I'm really happy for it being here, because it was much necessary. Alright, and it also made things clear. There are more tooltips in-game, and the tooltips are more helpful, although if you're a new player, you're still going to suffer from the lack of those more detailed tooltips, and you will need some teachers. And apparently I'm a teacher for everybody on my friends list right now. That's okay though, I don't mind, I really like Endless Legend. So, the battle is won, the city is mine. I have taken a bit of damage for my Anchor Wings. And in all actuality, This makes me wonder if I should actually go ahead and assimilate Sisters of Mercy, because I like Inquisitor Wings having as much damage as possible. However, you have to keep in mind that after I reach level 5 battle spells, I will gain access to healing spells, and I would rather use that than assimilate a Wolfless tribe. Anyway, now as you can see, this overlay has also been modified. We can see that we control 0% of the city's population. Right now it's just our forces being enforced in the city, and not a single citizen wants to follow us. We're basically murdering those citizens and waiting for them to actually start liking us. Not entirely, that's what necrophagers would do. We are just kind of threatening them every now and again a little bit. So that's exactly what we're doing, and now we are gaining population. But what do I want to do with the city? I cannot burn it down, but I do not even want to burn it down right now. So I'll probably just start creating my little triangle right now. How do I want it to go? It is a good question, because unfortunately when we zoom out you can see that this city is not in an optimal location. It will be very difficult to create a triangle out of those hexes, as you can see. I'll try to make a triangle go in this general direction, but it will be fairly tricky to achieve. Not impossible though. I'm trying to imagine this if I set it like so. No, there's... It will be tricky, will it? Want it? If I make this a tip, and then I go like so, and then like so, then this doesn't work. And if I go like so, this doesn't work either, because it will not be a perfect triangle anyway, but I guess that it will take me a while to create a full triangle anyway, as well. So, do I create a new district over here to gain access to this anomaly? It is a nice anomaly. I mean, F towers, I mean, you see what it gives you for yourself. It does give you a bunch of stuff, including happiness, which is nice, but you have to keep in mind that with triangle setup, you don't care about happiness too much, because you're gonna gain a ton of it anyway. So I think I'm gonna continuously expand north, closer to this river. It is tough to say actually what would work best, isn't it? You know what, I'm gonna grab this anomaly. It is going to give me more happiness, and until I create a full-on triangle, it will be useful. So let's go ahead and do just that. What I could do also is do this kind of triangle and go like so, but this will, as you can see, run out of its steam very, very quickly, so this would be a bad idea. I could do a triangle like so. Now, no matter what I do, it's not going to be optimal, unfortunately. If I vote this out, probably... You know, actually, there isn't a good place in this region to settle, because there are those minor villages in the way in very annoying spots. And, I mean, this one minor village is all that is ruining things, because otherwise I could make a triangle like so, it would be nice, but I cannot. Alright, I want everybody to work on industry. Do I actually want them to work on industry? No, I don't need all of them to do so. Let's move my population like so. Now, considering the fact that those people absolutely and utterly hate me, they are doing quite well in terms of producing a new borough street, which is slightly strange, but then again, this is a first borough street for the city, and the first borough street is usually very cheap. Now, what do I expect? I expect a massive counterattack from the enemy, but it's all good in the neighborhood. Let's go ahead and make my way towards this city that I also want to take, because, well, I want to take it, and my faction quest does want me to take it as well. And I do want to have my exotic armor if at all possible, so let's go ahead and attack. On the militia, I'm going to auto battle. I'll probably take some stupid damage, but I'm fine with this, I think. Ready to fight. And my ankle wing took some damage, but that's okay. And, oh yeah, baby, exotic armor is actually installed for us. Really nice. You're going to see the power of this thing in a second. I'm going to show it to you. I mean, just accept that it's absolutely amazing. And also, to make it even better, we gain more titanium and glass steel, which is, oh yeah, amazing. And of course, we have also pacified this village, which is nice. Sylex are no longer super annoying. I mean, the Sylex that are still roaming about, they will continue to be annoying, but that's about it. Now, what kind of unit do we lack in our army? We do have Anchor Wings for precision strikes, and they are both flying creatures and also kind of like cavalry in this regard. We have Warlocks who are useless but fulfill the role of an infantry. We have range units, so we kinda lack support, but we are not going to go for Sisters of Mercy because they are bad. Instead, we are going to go for Erikis because they will give us more speed, and they are also amazing unit. I mean, still, they are clearly one of the best, if not the best minor faction in the game right now. And there's very rarely a faction that does not want to have Erikis on their side. You could argue that they do not work too well with necrophagers because Erikis can actually be diseased, and disease is a very important feature of necrophagers. But in all actuality, still Eric is really nice, and Necrovaders can enjoy the extra speed of the units, although they probably usually do not need it because of the Necrojones. Either way, let us assimilate the Ericus. No, stop right here, don't go any further. Alright, so we'll have yet another city. What are we going to do with that one? Well, probably the same thing that we did with the last one, so let's go ahead and quit the screen. I cannot speak today, can I? Quit the city screen and have a quick look at what this region is. It is fairly big, it should be relatively easy to create a triangle over here. That is not a ruin, this is just an extraction, so I can build upon it, which is nice. Now, where are the anomalies? I can see one over there, but it's not particularly good. I can expand in this general direction, I guess. Which is what I'll do, more or less, I guess. Yeah, it's not an ideal place for triangles, but it would do, I guess. Again, I'm saying I guess way too many times, but I guess this kind of thing happens. Yeah, no matter how I see it, it's not gonna be a beautiful triangle either way, unfortunately. Alrighty then, let's start walking my way towards some kind of something, create a bar street, let's say over here, so I can make my way towards Mineral Rich for extra production, because why not? And do the usual trick of moving, actually, population around like so. Yep, 2 on food, 2 on production, oh nice. Now these cities are not as well developed as I hoped, but if we look at what is constructed inside of them, we can see that the enemy already did quite a bit of job for us already. For example, there is canal systems, pro factory, dust dredgers, stronghold architecture as well, although I don't really care too much about it, but it will help me defend if the enemy tries to retake my cities. So now what do? I moved those guys back because you don't ever know, the enemy might want to try and recapture the city, and I do want to make sure that it is protected more or less. And those guys are also going to protect Belcero, and everything seems to be working just fine. I think I'm going to end the stand right here. Now, yeah, I need a second, I need to blow my nose, so give me a minute. Oh wait, I cannot mute my microphone. I forgot I'm not using TeamSpeak, whatever. You know what, I can actually wait with that, it's fine. Alright, the enemy is probably besieging my capital, yes indeed they are. It is a fairly big, tricky army to deal with, so what I will do is just create another zealot, I guess. Or I could create an Equa Wing, which would be even better. So let's create an Equa Wing, like so. Focus on production fully, so I can get this Equa Wing as soon as possible. And indeed, I will need to have every bit of population working on that. Unfortunately, I'm also losing deaths like crazy right now, for reasons that are unknown to me. But I can also resolve this problem quite quickly. For example, over here, looks like I don't need those zealots. So let's walk let's walk on this dust a little bit, because I do need it and want it for obvious reasons. And let's see, what else do I want to conquer? Well, I just kind of want to kill voters anywhere on the map, but let's go ahead and walk towards this city in this region, because I haven't discovered it fully yet. And actually, hey, stop. I tried to tell it to stop, but it wasn't listening to me. I don't want to visit those ruins as well. There might be something useful, though, you never know. Dust would be useful, science would be useful as well. Glass, steel, and titanium would also be useful, especially since, oh boy, I forgot about it. I now actually can retrofit my Equa Wings with awesomeness. So when we look at this, what do they want? They want initiative, or do they want some extra critical? And because Equa Wings already have a bit of initiative on themselves already, by default, what I like to do is actually give them a mix of both. Because you want to have more than basic amount of initiative, but you don't want to have too much of it. You also want to have some extra critical strike. So what I'm going to do is actually go ahead and have a quick look. This thing gives me extra 12 defense and a battle of initiative. This thing gives me extra 8 defense and a battle of critical. So because Equa Wings do want to have a bit of defense, I'm going to give those guys a lot of defense and a lot of initiative. And let's have a quick look. There used to be a back in the bus that did break the system. So right now I have -1 initiative. This thing should give me +19 initiative as a result. And does it? It does indeed. Wait, does it? Hold on a second. Alright, let's do it in a more simple manner. This gives me 12, this gives me 4, so I'm supposed to gain extra 8. What do I have equipped? Alright, this is what I have equipped. I'm now supposed to gain extra 8 defense, and I don't. Alright, so unfortunately I'll not do this. So there's a problem, and apparently it has not been resolved with extra armor. Because as you can see, this armor is supposed to give me extra 8 defense compared to the armor I'm currently wearing. But the problem is, if I equip it, As you can see, I gain extra 10 defense instead of extra 8 defense. It's a bug that has unfortunately not been resolved just yet, and because I do not want to abuse game bug, I'm going to stick using iron armor. Which is really a shame, because as you can see, this kind of armor is absolutely amazing. It gives me a lot of extra everything compared to regular armor that I would gain at this point. And even if, and you can trust me on that, even if I gained tier 2 glacial titanium armor, tier 3 is just so much better, and it makes your unit just almost godlike in all actuality. Unfortunately, because it is right now currently broken, I'm not going to use it because I don't want to cheat. Alright, what do I want to do in terms of my empire plan? Well, I have a lot of influence, so I can go for something more than just those two things. So I think I might go for military to lower the industry cost of my units, and I don't quite have enough influence for that, annoyingly enough, as it turns out. And I do want to have extra happiness. But let's have a quick look if I really truly do need it. Oh yeah, I do really do need it. Alrighty then, in this case I'll just continue with my old empire plan. It is good enough as it is. So I'll just stick to it, and oh boy, I have too much population actually working on dust. Alright, that's good to know. You go back to working on industry, so that's all good. You will be fully efficient now. I am losing dust unfortunately because my two most important cities are currently besieged, but in 4 turns it will change and I'll stop losing dust. Right now I just have to deal with that, unfortunately. Alrighty then, so who do I have that requires orders? This guy. So, you know what, I'm kind of thinking about winding back, and seriously, they're giving me all the amazing quests, but they're kind of broken. However, I will fulfill them, because there is a chance that there will be another patch coming soon-ish that will fix those problems, and then I will have all this amazing technology for tier 3 accessories. It might be outdated by then, but still I will gladly try to get it. Alright, I have to get over there. And I have to use a hero of the army as well. So I guess I'll use my main army to grab it. Why not? I know that I should be besieging enemy cities right now, but I might as well go back, wind up like so, kill those Hammonites, capture this thingy just to get this, to secure this kind of research, then go over here and kill those guys as well. Although by that time they will be most likely dead. Anyway, this video guys is long enough already, and I am really suffering from my allergies right now. Unfortunately, it looks like it got a bit worse as I started casting, so what I'll have to do is to actually stop it right here and hopefully record more videocasts when I feel a little bit better. My apologies if this videocast was not entirely up to snuff, up to standards that you are possibly used to, but I cannot unfortunately give you anything better, so I'll do this but off camera because it will be really tedious and boring. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you online.